visits the famed Brickyard for the first time ever, you get to meet a true champion among champions, Dale Earnhardt, as Nutmeg Mills presents This Week in NASCAR. And now, from the Gatorade Winner's Circle at NASCAR World in Indianapolis, Indiana, here's the host of This Week in NASCAR, Eli Gold.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Indianapolis. Welcome to the Gatorade Winner's Circle and NASCAR World. Dale Earnhardt has brought with him a few thousand of his closest friends, and glad you're able to join us this evening as well. We've taken advantage of this great facility here to kind of leave our regular set at home this weekend and take advantage of all the production facilities here at NASCAR World. But the folks at Nutmeg Mills and Prime, glad to be able to be part of this very special week here in Indianapolis. If you've got a question for Dale Earnhardt, he'll be here for this next hour taking your calls and comments at that toll-free number, 1-800-292-5551. That's how you can get in touch with us here in Indianapolis tonight on This Week in NASCAR. Let's bring you up to speed on the news of this day, concluding just about an hour and a quarter ago. They ran for the pole over at Raceway Park in Indianapolis. You know, the Winston Cup cars aren't the only division in town running this weekend. Tomorrow night, the NASCAR Busch Series runs the Kroger NASCAR 200. David Green, for the 7th time this year, has put the Slim Jim Chevrolet on the pole. He'll be the quick man going to the green flag at 8 o'clock tomorrow evening here in Indianapolis. But of course, the big story of this day was Busch pole qualifying for the NASCAR Winston Cup cars over at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And that man, Rick Mast, out of Rockbridge Baths, Virginia, takes the quick speed all the way through all the speed traps that you see on the screen right there. And for the second time in his Winston Cup career, he is on the Busch pole. He takes home a lot of prizes from the folks at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and his lap was just quick enough to bounce our special guest of this evening to the next starting spot. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But let's look back at Dale Earnhardt's career a bit as we spend time with him here this evening. That is the most recent memory from the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York last year. And I'll tell you, we've got a whole file of those pictures, Dale. 6 championships. It's a heck of a career for you.
Yeah, it has been. It's been tremendous. It's hard to, you know, envision that you would go out and be a champion, much less 6-time champion, and really been fortunate. A lot of great friends over the years helped me get here. My dad being one of them to get started, but it's just been tremendous. I sometimes sit back and look and wonder how I did it, but I did it with a lot of help from friends and fans too.
Of course, you must have realized somewhere along the way that you had a special gift. I mean,
well, I like to drive race cars.
Well, a lot of guys, I like to drive a race car too, but I can't do it as well as you. I mean,
that's the fun part, and I seem to do that well. And when you're having fun, you can do something well. I look forward to it every race. I look forward to the race part of it. It's been great every race I've been in. I look forward, I sit down, I think I got a shot at winning that race. And we go and do that race in, race out, and you're looking around, you're racing for the championship every year, and that's the way it's been with Childress Racing. And we've just been so fortunate we've been blessed really with everything we have with the Childress and the guys working so hard, and Andy Petrie and all the folks, the engine departments, Goodwrench and all our sponsors. They've been great with us.
Why don't we take this next 52 or 53 seconds together and go back to earlier this day at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Our friends at ESPN kind enough to provide the video of your qualifying run. Take us around this 2.5 miles for you.
Well, I got in turn 1 really good, but I didn't pick the throttle up good as I'd like to have, Eli. I got through the short chute real good and through the turn 2 really good. The back straightaway speed was really good. Matter of fact, we were faster at the end of the back straightaway than Rick Mast was. I got in good in 3 really good, but I didn't pick the throttle up again as quick as I wanted to off of 3. I ran through 4 really great, and when I picked the, was back on the throttle hard right there, I just knew I had a good run, and it was the fastest at that time.
Right, as you can see, Brett Bodine did have the quick speed at that moment.
And we're sitting at the start-finish line. They're starting to interview me about the lap. And then Rick Mast runs.
Yeah, well, short-lived. We're going to spend this hour with Dale Earnhardt. And again, if you'd like to join us, our phones are open toll-free at 1-800-292-5551. As we break away now, let's take a look at the top 20 qualifiers. These drivers already locked in. And note the positions 15 through 20. Some very interesting names there as well. We're coming right back to NASCAR World in a moment.
in NASCAR is brought to you by Nutmeg Racing. Nutmeg's new NASCAR collection of caps and T-shirts are for race fans who want to stand out from the crowd. By Smooth Busch Beer and easy drinking Busch Light. Busch, the official beer of NASCAR. By Chevrolet. One car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR. Genuine Chevrolet. And by Eagle One, ultra premium waxes and polishes.
Think about going for that same piece of real estate, and you came on home with it.
That's a dodge and go there.
Wasn't it, though?
I had 4 of them wanting the same piece there.
You've won on so many different kinds of racetracks. It's a testimony to you, to the car preparation, everything.
That's a crowd chasing me right there, and I thought Ernie had a shot at us that race there. But
at the line, I thought he might have.
Talladega's been really good for us.
We're in Indianapolis, Indiana tonight with Dale Earnhardt, driver of the GM Goodland Chevrolet. And we have got thousands of fans and friends joining us here at NASCAR World, the Gatorade World. It's really been a very special week here as the fans continue to come in, and we'll take you on a bit of a tour of NASCAR World a bit later on in the program, so we'll show you all that's going on here in Indianapolis. But right now, let's get to the phone lines. Homer is first down in the state of Virginia, watching on Home Team Sports tonight. Hello, Homer.
Hello, Dale. Eli.
How are you, sir?
Big fan, Dale.
Hey.
Congratulations on today's qualifying.
Thank you.
Okay, my question for you is, whenever you run the Busch car and the Winston Cup car the same weekend, do you run the same tire on those? Or are the compounds a little different?
No, the cars are different. They look identical, but there are some changes, certainly.
I run the same caster camber and same steering geometry, stuff like that, but really the setups are close. Maybe a little bit 50 to 25 pounds difference in springs because of the weight of the car, and the nose weight of the car is a little different. But percentage-wise, we run close to the same. It's just a little different spring setup.
Right, and of course, the basic difference is one car, 3,200 pounds, 135. The Busch car, you've got a 6-cylinder machine and the 8-cylinder machine.
Soon to be V8 next year.
Exactly, soon to be V8 next year. Let's go down now to Port St. Lucie, Florida. Don joining us on the Sunshine Network. Hello.
Good evening, Eli.
Good evening.
Congratulations on making it to Indy.
Well, we're all here together.
Dale, nice to see you on the outside of the front row, but
Yeah.
my man Jeff is on the inside of the second row. So, if you would, Dale, how about strapping yourself into the seat on Sunday or Saturday morning? Excuse me, we're on Saturday this week, and taking us around the first lap of the Brickyard 400.
That first lap.
First lap, I'm going to try to beat Mass to the corner. When we get there, we're going to see who can go the deepest, I reckon. But I sure would like to lead the first lap. That's going to be on everybody's mind is to lead the first lap in Indy. But I think the car's capable. I really do. I feel like a qualifying run, I could have been a little better.
Sure.
Which everybody looks back and said, what if?
Yeah.
But I feel good about our
There
chances.
are 88 other guys who qualified behind you.
Boy,
so,
if I would have done this.
yeah.
Or if,
Let's go out to Omaha, Nebraska now for our next call. Hello, Bill. Good evening. Hello, Bill.
come in, Bill.
Apparently, Bill is a Rick Mast fan, and you must have really gotten him upset there. That's the only thing. Our next stop
I'm a
is...
Rick Mast fan. What
He's
are
a
you
nice
talking about?
guy. He's one of the nicest guys in this business. Let's go down to Jack now in Arcadia, Florida. Hello, Jack. Good evening. Jack, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Go right ahead, sir. I thought he was on with Bill there for a minute. What's up, Jack?
I'd just like to say congratulations on your run today, Dale. Looked real good.
Thank you.
I was wondering if, since you and Jeff are kind of stuck in there with a whole flock of Thunderbirds, if you're going to be able to kind of draft with each other and do something with them during the race.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see really who drafts with who. I'm going to be just sort of running to my line and waiting for somebody to pick up and go draft together. And if it's whoever, it doesn't matter to me. I'm going to work with them to get away from the rest of the guys. If one or two cars could get away, that'd be great.
Peggy joined us earlier in the week with a question. She called our voice mailbox in Athens, Georgia, and had this question for Dale Earnhardt. Let's listen. I guess Peggy's question has disappeared into thin air.
You erased it.
Must have been something we said. Talk to me about the flat racetrack like Indianapolis versus a flat track like Phoenix, a flat track like New Hampshire, a short track that's flat Are the setups basically the same, or is this one totally different?
They're close. The thing we brought here to test was 3 different race cars. A car like we raced at Pocono, our short track car, which is the car we're running, and a car like we run Michigan. And we took things from each car and sort of tried things, and ended up deciding the short track car was the best car, chassis-wise. It's got a pretty aerodynamic body on it, like the Speedway car has, but it's not quite that elaborate. And basically, it's the short track car. Same car ran at Phoenix last year, and the same car ran at Richmond the first of this year.
How about driver-wise? Does it take more finesse to run a flat track?
Yes, it does. And, you know, you've got, just like I said, I didn't pick the throttle up quick enough in turn 1. I felt like that was a mistake that I made, that I could have been faster. And you just got to do that perfect lap to make that fastest lap. And I think that's the kind of race it's going to be. It's going to be one of those races where you got to be consistently on the mark. And if you run that consistent mark and another guy's back here and he makes a mistake and he's this far behind, the next corner he makes a little mistake, you can gain that. If you're consistent, I think you'll be a good competitive car.
Dale Earnhardt is our special guest. We're going to come back and take your calls for the 6-time NASCAR Winston Cup champion. But as we break away, here's how the Winston Cup points stand up with. Another Saturday Brickyard 400 here in Indianapolis. We're coming right back. See Bristol Raceway in Tennessee as we welcome you back to This Week in NASCAR. We are at NASCAR World here at the Gatorade Winners Circle, inaugurating it here this evening with our special guest, Dale Earnhardt. Good evening, everyone. Welcome back into the show. Dale starting on the outside of goal number 1 in Saturday's running of the Brickyard 400. Let's go back to Peggy down in Athens, Georgia. We have located her question now, and let's listen into the call that she shared with us earlier in the week. Hello, Peggy.
How were you when you first started racing professionally, and do you remember how much money you were paid for your first professional race?
I think I paid them to race. It was in 78, really, when I drove for Osterlund. I drove for Ed Negree back in 75. I can't remember exactly how old I was. Well, I'm 43 today, and 79, how old was I, you know?
Yeah,
I was rookie of the year then. I think that's really when I got paid to drive. I think I paid Ed Negree to drive.
Let's go to Mark now, joining us in Scottsdale, Pennsylvania, with a question for Dale Earnhardt. Hello, Mark.
Oh, Dale?
Yeah.
How do you feel about Jimmy Spencer now and his quality of racing?
Now that Jimmy has wins at both Daytona and Talladega.
I raced with him just like I did before. He's always been a competitive racer, and I've never had that big a problem with him. Things get stirred up sometimes in a driver's career, and eventually it works out. And I think he was the eagerness of wanting to win and getting into positions that he shouldn't have been. Just like I did the same thing. I think everybody's been in that position.
Now we go to Lepanto, Arkansas, where Steve joins us on Prime Network. Hello, Steve.
Hello, Dale.
Hi, Steve.
I want to say good luck from right in the middle of Mark Martin country.
All right.
I was wanting to know what the speed on pit road is this week.
You know, they haven't told us yet, but I'm looking for 65 to 70 mile an hour, somewhere in there.
Is that one of the more difficult elements of this business, woeing down from 195?
Yes.
Do they have to ride you on the radio pretty good? Does
No.
Andy stay on you? No?
No, they doesn't. And it's a situation where you just gotta, you know, school yourself, and you get anxious. You want to try to push the RPMs up, but if you do, you get caught. I've been caught last year, especially. This year, I've been fortunate, hadn't been. So we've been pretty conservative on pit road, and it's a safety thing, and I'm for it. You know, I like it. We've been really safe on pit road since we've had the speeds.
Let's go now to Conyers, Georgia, where Tip is watching on Sports South. Hello.
Hello, Eli.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Dale.
How you doing?
You're my favorite race driver here.
All right. Okay,
and I just bought me a new Monte Carlo.
All right.
And I want to know how they gonna do.
Well, they're going to do great, I think. I haven't yet drove the Monte Carlo. My good friend Neil Bonnet drove the car last year at Michigan and tested it. And Dave Marcus has tested the car on speedways. Dale Jarrett tested it last at Talladega right after the race down there. The car we're testing now is the Chevrolet's Monte Carlo, and we're sort of forming it and making it work to the tracks and the aerodynamics. And once we get that done, then NASCAR will either approve this or change that or whatever, and then we'll go build our race car and we'll start our test. But I haven't drove one yet. Neil Bonnet told me it drove great at Michigan, though. So.
And that man knew how to drive a race car.
Knew how to drive a race car, for sure.
We're spending this hour with Dale Earnhardt, the driver of the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. I want to remind you where we're going to be for the next couple of weeks on This Week in NASCAR. Next Thursday evening, we'll be at the corporate headquarters of Corning in Corning, New York, prior to the running of the Budweiser at the Glen. We'll be back at our regular time of 8 o'clock Eastern next Thursday evening. And in 2 weeks' time, we'll be at WDIV-TV in Detroit, Michigan. That's the headquarters of our affiliate in the Detroit area. 8 o'clock Eastern, 2 weeks from tonight in Detroit. As we break away now, let's take a look at positions 11 through 20 in NASCAR Winston Cup points. And more of your questions for Dale Earnhardt as we're live at NASCAR World in Indianapolis, Indiana. Another race, another win for the GM Goodwrench Chevrolet. Darlington Raceway in South Carolina as Dale looks towards victory lane. As we welcome you back to NASCAR World in Indianapolis, Indiana. Dale Earnhardt qualifying on the outside of row number 1 for Saturday's Brickyard 400. If you're just tuning in, Rick Mast has the Busch pole tucked away. David Green has won the pole for the NASCAR Busch Series race, the Kroger 200 at IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park, set for tomorrow evening. We've got a lot of folks who've joined us here at NASCAR World, and Lexus is with us from Michigan. She's got a question for Dale Earnhardt. Hello.
Hi, Dale.
How you doing?
Good. First of all, good luck on Saturday, and if you're ever northern Michigan and want to hunt, let us know.
Oh, I come up to Stanwood quite a bit.
My question is everybody knows you have one of the best pit crews in all of NASCAR. Has this race, with there being no data on it, even though it's similar, has it put any burden on them? Have they had to work extra hours to get the car ready for?
Well, they have put quite a few hours into testing and preparation. I think for this race is just about the same as Daytona. The focus on it being the first race here. And I think the premium for this race is going to be a good Hamlin race car, and that comes from testing. And I think the pit road and the pit stops are going to be a premium too. And it's getting awful competitive on pit road. Once the car stops, it's fast. Things go fast.
Let's go now to Danny down in Temple, Texas. He's watching on HSE tonight. Hello, Danny.
Yes, I have a question for both Dale and you, Eli.
All right.
Dale, do the Winston Cup drivers have a union like the whining baseball players and football players?
No.
And, to Eli, have you heard any rumors about the prospective buyers for Texas Speedway that is about to be auctioned off August the 18th?
I have not. As you say, it is being sold at auction on the 18th of August, and there have been some interested groups, but at the same time, it's bounced around in the hands of a number of different concerns, both domestically and internationally here over the last few years. So no, as of this moment, I've heard of nobody who might have the inside road. And I guess a question about labor in this day is knowledgeable because of baseball's impending strike.
And it's been, talked about both ways, whether we should have a driver's union. And it would be a benefit for benefits, insurance, health care, stuff like that, if you were, joined a union. But still, I'm an independent contractor in this business, and I can go out and, sign with this sponsor or this card company and do what I want to. And the players in an association can't. And so I sort of like it. I got a lot of friends that play baseball, Blauser and Ned Yost, and the guys were over today for qualifying and from the Braves. And I'm pretty much happy being an independent contractor right now. Of course, when I retire, I probably wish I had a pension coming.
Yeah, I understand that. Let's go now to Rock, who's watching in Prophettown, Illinois on Sports Channel Chicago. Hello.
Hello, Eli. Hello, Dale.
How you doing?
Very good. Dale, how's that fine string Angus cattle doing back there at the ranch?
Oh, it's doing great. The Matter of fact, they're doing too good. I got to sell some of them. I got too many of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice problem to have. Hey, speaking of back home, how'd that open house go at Richard's place on the weekend?
You know, we did one back, I think, in 87 or 88 maybe.
Yeah.
And we've been working so hard and everything. We said, well, we got to do another. We got to do another. Kept talking about it. Finally, we planned one. Then I have an IROC race on Saturday, so I couldn't be there. And they had a tremendous crowd on Saturday. I came in there on Sunday morning. 30,000 people, it looked like, everywhere. People out, well, Lord, how are we going to do all this? I started signing autographs around 9:30 and signed till 5:15 and signed everybody that we could put in the lines. We had like 500 people lines, 5 of them, and we'd just fill them up when we'd get them down, and we figured we could get it, you know, in it by 5. And we had a tremendous turnout. The fans were great. Sure. They just had a big time. NASCAR came down with their truck. The Winston folks came down. A lot of our sponsors came down, Western Steer, Mom and Pops, Gargoyles, you know, everybody turned out and supported the Snap-on, and it was a big thing for us and for Childress. They went through all the shops and looked at everything we had. We got the in development shops, chassis shops, the body shop, the race shop, the R&D shop with the engines. We got the museum where Richard has his mounts and a lot of the trophies, a lot of the cars. It was tremendous. We had a big day.
And all of the admission went to charity, which of course made it so
That was the good thing about it. I think one church raised like $18,000 just for the coats they sold.
Yeah.
And you know, they raised. I know it's going to be a well excess of $100,000 they're going to have for charities from the whole proceeds from the ticket sales. So it's going to be great. Richard turned it over to a steering committee in the community there, and they handled it. So it's their deal.
And you can imagine 30,000 folks converging on Welcome, North Carolina, which is a town that could fit inside the studio here this evening. Yeah. Let's go down to Columbus, Mississippi. Another viewer on Sports South. Nick, good evening to you.
Hey, Dale. How you doing?
Great.
Love to watch you at Talladega. Been going over there a long time.
Yeah.
I want you to elaborate a little bit on your experience with some of the older guys like Cale Yarborough and Bobby Allison that you had right when you started out. It seems a lot of the newer young guys don't have that experience.
I learned a lot, and I had to learn fast too. Racing with Cale and Pearson, I got hurt in '79, and Pearson drove my car for me, and I was having to watch him drive it, and I learned a lot just from that, just watching him, and then talking to him about it after he got out and I got back in. But Cale Yarborough, racing with him is like racing a bull in a china shop. He would ride over the top of you, whatever. But I learned a lot from him, and I respected him well. But the guy that I think I learned the most from and would talk to you the most was Bobby Allison. Yeah. And he would tell you your mistakes, and Donnie would holler his mistakes at you. But I had a lot of fun, and I enjoyed all that because my dad was a racer, and they knew him, and they was talking to me just like I was one of their sons. But Richard talked to me a little harsh a couple times, but I was a little bit hard on his quarter pounds at times.
Yeah, that happens. Dale Earnhardt, a former NASCAR Winston Cup Rookie of the Year. As we break away now, let's check out the Rookie of the Year race in 1994. It's pretty spirited at the head of the list now. Take a look, and more of your questions for Dale right after this. Look at some of the folks joining us here at NASCAR World in Indianapolis, Indiana. The interactive theme park, all about NASCAR racing that has really been the rage here in downtown Indianapolis. Welcome back, everyone. Dale Earnhardt, our special guest. What is NASCAR World? Well, it says on the brochure it's an interactive theme park about NASCAR nestled in downtown Indianapolis. There's the main entrance to NASCAR World, and this really is a multifaceted attraction. You can try your hand at becoming a pit crew member. Maybe there's a future member of the Flying Aces.
That's great.
In that bunch. Folks can just show up and try and change tires and simulate a fill of Unical racing fuel for a race car. Other action that we see here are NASCAR officials showing you what goes on at the inspection station. You can call the race. A future play-by-play person right there looking at videotape and calling them the action as it unfolds with Dale Earnhardt leading. And a number of simulators like that NASCAR World 500 that give you a different experience about the world of of NASCAR. This event takes place here for the next couple of days in downtown Indianapolis. Then it'll all be moving down to Atlanta, Georgia, and it'll be part of a big race week activity in conjunction with the Hooters 500 in November. So those of you who may not be able to make it here to Indy can certainly do yourselves proud by checking things out when they go to Atlanta, Georgia later in the year. Ron is next with a question. He's from Temecula, California, watching on Prime Ticket.
My question's for Dale. It seems like whenever you're leading the races, you're really driving your heart out. But when the Fords are leading, it seems like they're driving away from the pack. Does that seem to get to you this year?
Well, anytime I'm behind, it gets to me. Yeah, we drive hard really all the time, but I don't know. I race them pretty much consistently the same everywhere, every race. If I'm behind, I'm driving harder, trying to catch up or get ahead, and let's go after it. I think the Fords just look smoother, I reckon.
Now to Murray, Utah, where Rod is watching on Prime Rocky Mountain region. Hello, Rod.
How you doing there, Dale?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm a fan of the big top three of you, and my question is, I was wondering if you ever thrill yourself and say, yeah, when you go past somebody inside of a car when you do a good move.
Yeah, I asked Jimmy Spencer on the show if you ever scare yourself in the race car. Do you ever give yourself a thrill when you make a really nice pass on somebody or something?
Yeah, I get excited about racing and what's going on around me and all. And as far as I get scared at what some other guys do sometimes, but I've never scared myself. I've came through some things and thought, well, boy, you're really lucky, you know. And you look like a hero, but really I was just lucky. And just like the famous pass in the grass, which was just really a race.
Which wasn't a pass, really.
It was a lucky deal, really. I went in the grass and came out a hero, and I don't know how I did it. Don't know. I didn't plan to do it that way, but anyway, it works out. And you just sort of make the right moves, and you're lucky, and you do okay. But I've not been scared of a race car yet, and comfortable doing it. You see things happen you wished it hadn't happened, or unfortunate things happen in racing, but it happens in all walks of life.
Let's go to Holland, Pennsylvania now. Gene watching on the KBL Sports Network. Good evening, Gene.
Hi, Dale. Good luck on Saturday.
Thank you.
My husband and I are fans of NASCAR. He's a big Ernie Irvan fan, and we just read in Stock Car Racing that you had sponsored him, and we saw Ernie on QVC, and we were wondering if you two are pretty good friends. I know it's pretty competitive right now.
Ernie and I?
Yeah, the old Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet sponsorship. How did that even begin? Were you guys buddies from years ago?
Really, Mark Reno owned the car, and Mark and I were good friends. He did some chassis stuff, built a car for me and for Busch Grand National, and I was sponsoring Mark. Ernie was driving, and Ernie and I was getting along fine anyway. And he's pretty much done what he's done on his own merit as a driver. I helped Mark Reno at that time and sponsored him, and Ernie was the driver, and it worked out good, though.
Might be in store for another victory sale at the dealership come Monday, huh?
Yeah, that'd be great. If we win on Saturday, I think I would do good at Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet in Newton on Monday.
I would think so. The crowd's probably forming already. Who knows? We're going to come right back and continue with Dale. Let's take a look at the manufacturer's point standings as we break away now and see how everybody stacks up going into the Brickyard. Then more of your calls right after this. Dale Earnhardt and Richard Childress talking things over on pit road as the six-time champion and a five-time car owner in the championship. How did Richard Childress and you first hook up? A lot of folks may not know.
It's really amazing. It's a pretty long story. You want to hear it?
You can give us a short version.
All right. In 1981, when Osterlund sold out to Stacy, I was really unhappy, and Wrangler was unhappy too, the sponsor. And we got talking to Childress a little bit along, and Junior Johnson was a big player in that. The downtowner inn at Talladega, Anniston, really. Right. We had a little meeting in there and talked about it, and Richard Childress retired from driving and put me in the car the last 10 races
and the rest,
Talladega.
As they say, is history.
Hey, man, it's really been good for us.
You know, each and every week on this show, we give away one of those great new NASCAR Winston Cup Series directories. So many of you have already purchased your own copy. If you'd like to order a copy, there you see the toll-free number. They'll give you all of the information you need as to how how to get that directory, which gives you all the information about the racetracks, the cities, all different facts and figures about NASCAR Winston Cup racing. And each week we give one away to the person who has come the farthest to visit us here at the show. And tonight from Mendocino, California, we've got Jerry joining us. Great to have you in Indianapolis tonight.
Thank you, Eli. Hi, Dale.
Hi.
I've been a fan of yours for many years, and I want to wish you luck Saturday.
Thank you.
And I wanted to ask you were talking about your children earlier that were racing. What kind of a spectator are you when they race?
Fortunately, I've been working when they're racing, and I've not been able to go see them drive this year. And so I'm a good spectator. I would probably be pretty nervous watching them because I want them to do well, and I reckon my dad was the same way. You see the mistakes they make, you, well, why did you do that? You know, you shouldn't do that. But he never said that, and I try not to say it to them.
You've played crew chief, though, a little bit this year, I know.
Oh, I've played chassis man.
Chassis man.
I'm chassis man, and I'm not talking about putting springs in. I'm talking about straightening frames out.
Let's go now to the state of Maryland for our next call. Bill in Westminster, Maryland, watching on Home Team Sports. Hi, Bill.
How you doing, Dale?
How you doing?
Good luck Saturday. What I wanted to know is we come down through your area every summer, and we visited the shop last summer. I want to know if you ever take Lugnut with you to the races.
No, not me. That's Chocolate and Richard's dog, a big Great Dane we have, and when he was a pup, I used to aggravate him a lot. You know, I'd go up in the shop and be talking to the guys, and I'd aggravate the dog, and I'd aggravate the dog. And I drove in there a while back, you know, a while back, and the dog was this big aggravating me, so they put him on a chain when I come in the driveway now. I try to run over him if he's in the driveway.
Next is a question from Rochester, New York. Carol, watching on the Empire Sports Network. Let's listen in.
Do you regret that you are unable to spend more time with your sons, helping them develop their race careers and watching them race? Thank you.
Follow up on the question of moments ago.
I do regret that I can't go to the races with them, but it would be hard because Kelly and Dale Jr. usually race in Myrtle Beach on Saturday night, and Kerry's up in Hickory on Saturday night, and I'm Pocono or Indianapolis or wherever. But I spend Mondays with them, Monday nights usually, and talk about how their cars worked and what's working and help them fine-tune or do whatever. I've got good people that help them on the cars, Gary Hargett, Larry Williams, and myself on Kelly's car mostly. But anyway, we got good sponsors that they go and support them. Mom and Pop's, Western Steer, Snap-on, Good Wrench, all of them. They're associate sponsors on the car together. Mom and Pop's the biggest sponsor we have. Right. And they do great. They go down and help them out, and they're just a big deal. It's a big fun thing, and it would be more fun if I could go, but it don't work that way all the time.
I know what you're saying. We've had the pleasure of having most every major city in America join our network over the last 5 years. One of the last holdout cities was Nashville, Tennessee, but glad to have the folks in Music City on board with us now. And Terrell joins us from Nashville with a question. Hello.
Hello, Dale.
How you doing?
I'm a big fan of yours, and just wanted to know if you win the race, are you going to have a big sale Monday?
Oh, sure. You come on over to Dale Earnhardt Chevrolet in Newton, North Carolina. We'll have a sale. Big time sale.
Do you do your own commercials?
Well, yes and no.
You get out there doing a little song and dance?
No, I don't do the song and dance stuff, but we do promos and stuff for the TVs and for the cable stuff, but mostly we do print ads and stuff, and that's pretty good. Our open house is in October, and I think this is the eighth one at the time, the 8th year. And it's just time's been traveling so fast, but we have a big time down there. It's right after the Wilkesboro race, right before Charlotte, and it's on a Monday and Monday. All day long we're there, Monday night, Monday afternoon, and it's a big fun time.
By the way, that same Monday is also Harry Gant Day this year in Taylorsville, North Carolina.
We're bucking them.
You're bucking Harry's Day, huh? Well, making a chord there so everybody can benefit. We're going to break away, but as we do leave you, here are some track facts about the Indianapolis Motor Speedway and Saturday's Brickyard 400. And back to the phones right after this. are some old pictures that bring back a memory or two. The Wrangler team. I guess that's right around when GM Goodwrench became an associate sponsor at that time, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that was a bad race there. I hit the wall in the race, and I was getting out. I was pretty upset.
Some look back.
I had a lot of hair then, too.
Well, we both did. We both did. Welcome back, everyone. We're at NASCAR World in Indianapolis with Dale Earnhardt, our special guest. Why don't we get right back to the phone calls? Brian in Columbia, Missouri. Welcome to the show.
Hi, Dale.
How you doing?
Been a big fan of yours for a long time. I had a question about the restrictor plates. It seems like a lot of cars have been burning pistons. You know about that.
Yeah.
Have either you or any other teams been trying to do something to keep having this problem? Because it seems like it happens quite a bit.
Well, we worked awful hard at it, and I think our mistake at Talladega was we got greedy and ran too much compression. And we just should have ran the Daytona setup as far as the engine goes, and we didn't. We got a little greedy. We ran so good in qualifying, and the engine that we ran was an engine that Dick Trickle had ran at Daytona the whole race, and the compression ratio lasted there. It was hotter in Talladega. The humidity was different. I think that got us.
That got a lot of guys. 22 engines were lost between Saturday and Sunday. Lenore City, Tennessee is next, watching on Sports South. Hello, John. Good evening.
Hey, thanks a lot, Eli.
Sure.
Hello, Dale. Need to get the points lead back. My wife's an Irvin fan. I can't stand the heat.
Yeah.
I was just wondering why, I noticed in USA Today that they said you turned down the network for carrying the in-car camera. I was wondering why you never did.
Well, it's anywhere from 10 to 15 to 20 pounds sometimes in the right side of the car or high up in the car. It's so competitive with our cars and the way we build our cars that I don't like to carry the weight. I don't like to carry people in the car with me either. I'm a safe driver. I don't want you guys to get hurt.
Let's go out to the state of Oregon now for our next question. And Doug joining us. Good afternoon to you, sir.
Well, good afternoon. Hello, Dale. Hi, Eli.
Hi,
Doug.
Hey, Dale, I'd just like to say thank you for just being a wonderful driver. Me and my wife and sons are big fans of yours.
Thanks.
But my question is, what do you think about racing against Herschel McGriff?
Oh, man. He's 64 or 5 years old now, and he's been tremendous. He helped me as a rookie when I ran out and run the road courses at Riverside. And he talked to me. I asked him questions about it. And it was something else. He's up here qualifying for the Indy race, and he comes over today and says, "You're entering the corner. Are you staying out or are you staying in the throttle?" And it sounded just like me asking him a question about the road courses and stuff. And we talked a while, and he went out and he said, you know, he's more comfortable that way. But it's just, I reckon, the difference. But I'm an admirer of his at 64 or 5 years old, still driving a race car. And I'm 43, so I got a long time to go.
Long time to get out there and keep racing. As we talk about Herschel McGriff from Bridalveil, Oregon. As we break away now, for those of you who can't make it to Indianapolis this weekend, here's a look at the broadcast schedule. Then we come back to chat some more with Dale Earnhardt. Stay with us. There again, a look at that GM Goodwrench logo as an associate sponsorship, May of 1986 on the Wrangler car.
Well, that's good old days there, huh?
And well, I'll tell you how the cars have changed.
Yeah,
you know,
that thing looks square.
Takes you a picture like that to kind of bring back some of the memories of the way cars looked. And there's the celebrating as we welcome you back, everyone, this week in NASCAR. Tonight live from Indianapolis, Indiana. Let's go down to Lincolnton, Georgia for our next call. Pat, welcome to the show. Hello. Hi, Pat. How are you doing?
Hi, Pat.
I'm fine. Dale, I've been a fan for yours for the past 15 years. My question is, how long have you been racing? And I want to know how long you've been married. I think your wife is so attractive.
Oh, I better not mess this up.
And Teresa just walked in time to hear that. That's very nice.
We've been married now about 14 years, huh, honey? Maybe 15. Anyway, I started driving in 72. My first dirt track race at home there was in 72, and professionally, full-time, I reckon, since 79. But, boy, I tell you, 72 was a rough year.
Yeah. Was there ever any doubt that your dad was steering you in this direction? Did he push you? Or did he just give you all the leeway you want?
I had to talk a guy into letting me drive his car. My dad wasn't going to put me in no race car.
Really?
He was driving and making a living and doing the best he could do. And I talked a guy into letting me drive his car. And I mean, I wanted to drive a race car bad, guys, because this car was pink. My first race car I drove was pink, number K2, with an apricot metal flake top. I mean, I'll never forget it. It was a 56 Ford, too. So I wanted to drive bad. I talked this guy into drive his car. It was something else.
I can imagine. Let's go down to Rehoboth, Alabama now. Tom watching on Sports South. Hello.
Hello, Eli. How you doing?
Great, thank you.
Dale.
Yes.
First of all, congratulations on your good qualifying.
Thank you.
And let's tell Chocolate stick to filling the gas tank, not ESPN2.
All right.
But listen, I was wanting to ask you a question about Neil. I know he was a good friend of yours, and but during the races, are there any certain tracks that would bring back more memories than other tracks about Neil that you know what I'm trying to say?
I think Richmond, Virginia, the old track, was the most memorable I had with Neil. I was racing him hard one day, and I think this is when Neil Bonnet and I really gelled for as friends, and respect from it. And I'd raced him hard, and I was sitting there just taking my time, and I was trying to be patient. Finally, I got greedy and knocked the heck out of him, knocked him sideways, got under him, and drove on by him. And I went down in the next turn, and he sent me to town. I mean, sent me to town. I was up against the wall and all out of the way, and got straightened out, and I'm going down the straightaway. I said, boy, I got to be careful. I raced him for another 50 laps, finally got by him, and I beat him that day. But me and him got along so great after that. I mean, we just gained general respect for each other. He wasn't going to take it, but, you know, he didn't mind a little bit racing, but too much racing was rough.
You know what was real neat? I found out last week on a side trip out to the NHRA event. I was spending some time in the pits with Don Prudhomme, and on the nose cone of his Top Fuel dragster, it says, in memory of Neil Bonnet. It has a nice little note there on his race car.
He was a great one. People really don't realize how strong of a racer he was, and how great of a person he was as a friend.
Very true. Let's go to Warren, Ohio. Jason, watching on Sports Channel, Ohio. Good evening.
Good evening. Dale, I've been a big fan of yours for about 3 or 4 years now.
Yep.
And I'd like to ask you, what was your hardest race you've ever driven?
What's the hardest race I ever driven?
Yeah.
Or maybe the most satisfying?
Well, I've had a lot of those, but tough races. I think the toughest race I drove was in Daytona in 80, and it was really hot. And it was in July, and I was racing hard, and it was, you know, they was talking to me on the radio because I was giving out. I was dehydrated. In the last 2 or 3 laps, I drove just hanging on to the steering wheel, and I hit the wall 2 or 3 times, just coming off how you can scuff the wall. Ended up third, but that was the toughest. I got out of that car and was, you know, out of it. Pretty much the toughest race I've drove.
Dale Earnhardt, our special guest, are going to come back and wrap it up with the 6-time champion right after we break away for these words and a look at our sponsors who make this show possible every week.
This Week in NASCAR has been brought to you by Chevrolet. One car company has won more races in the history of NASCAR. Genuine.
Just joining us, a look at the final few yards of the Busch Pole run at Indianapolis today. Rick Mast and the Skoll Classic team taking it on to the very first Busch Pole for a Winston Cup car at Indianapolis. This man to my right, Dale Earnhardt, starts outside of row number 1. I want you to have this sweater. The folks from Nutmeg Mills, kind enough to pass a NASCAR sweater along to all of our guests. So, as you said earlier, first lap, just outdive Mr. Maston at turn number 1. I'll tell you, winning this first race, whoever gets to victory lane, that's going to be a heck of a career note.
It is. It's going to be an exciting race, and we've waited a long time to get here, and we're finally here, and it's going to be fun. Incidentally, how old are you?
How old am I? No, it's not really my birthday. They just kind of, I just turned 40.
Yeah.
Can't you tell by my hairline? Just turned 40. Listen, thanks so much for joining us. It's always a pleasure, and I wish you the very, very best. Dale Earnhardt, our special guest. Let's remind again about next week's show here on This Week in NASCAR. We'll follow the NASCAR Winston Cup teams up to Watkins Glen, and we'll spend Thursday evening at the Corning headquarters building in Corning, New York, 8 o'clock Eastern time with a special guest, so hope you can make your plans to join us. Again, our thanks to Dale Earnhardt. Thanks to all the folks here at NASCAR World, and if you can get to Atlanta later this year, make sure you visit NASCAR World as well. It's a great, great attraction for racing fans. Till next Thursday, Eli Gold. Good night, everybody.
Guests on This Week in NASCAR receive the latest in sporty NASCAR wearing apparel from Nutmeg Mills. You can also stand out from the crowd when wearing officially licensed NASCAR sportswear from Nutmeg Mills. Now it's easy to get through to us. Just call the This Week in NASCAR voicemail box anytime at 1-800-292-5551 and listen each week for your call. Or write us at This Week in NASCAR, 1625 Broadway, Suite 550, Denver, Colorado.